Hello, and welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video. Global players, you're in the end game now when it comes to the sync, considering that TEQ UI Goku is probably coming out tonight or tomorrow. Now, I was expecting us to get the data download yesterday for Global, right? And that didn't happen, but instead we did get the event teasers. Now, everything is pretty much scheduled for the 5th anyway, so I do expect him to either drop like later tonight, right, roughly like 2:30 a.m. or at like 10 p.m. tomorrow. So either 10 p.m. the 5th or like 2:30 a.m. or 2:30 a.m. on the 5th. One of those two times is probably when TEQ UI Goku is going to be dropping. But with the fact that he is coming to global during the pretty much still the ending of the anniversary, there is still a couple things that you need to talk about. Of course, obviously, we need to talk about TEQ UI himself, right? He is a very, 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 very good character. Now, again, on my last tier list, this was before we got a bunch of the easy A's or whatever, right? I had him ranked as my second best unit in the game, just because I really, really like TEQ UI. The ability that he offers just at 55% is amazing. Just getting one copy of TEQ UI is going to make a very big difference for your account, especially if you run like other superhero characters, right? He just is such a big buff for characters like Gogeta, AGL Evolution Blue Vegeta, technically AGL Vegeta Blue if you're a weirdo and still running him like phone, right? Like if you're like those guys, go for it, right? I think you're gonna see amazing things out of TEQ UI. Now I know a lot of global players are pretty much worrying like, okay, I don't have the stones for this, right? Like how the hell am I supposed to get stones for this banner? And to that I say, just remember, for global, during the celebration, not only are you guys getting the Supreme Magnificent Battle Universal Swappa Saga, which is the hardest fight in the entire game. There's 2 fights in here that are ridiculously hard, right? So you're going to be able to get all 6 stages of this, plus all of its missions. I believe it has one, you get a clear for every single stage, and then you get 2 missions. We can just pull this up, actually. Right, it'll be pretty easy if we just do this. You have a bunch of stones from this event. An absolutely ridiculous amount of stones. Look at all these stones, right? Crazy amount of stones that you get from beating this. Then you also have, that's already confirmed to become global, right? That is not out yet. This just dropped, but you have, where is it? Did they put it in here? I don't think they did yet. But essentially, Movie Boss Rush, right? That's going to be coming out. That also has missions, as well as Cell Max Stage 2, which has missions as well, right? And not only is that coming out, but there's also apparently another Boss Rush coming out. So, again, more stones. And then you got to remember that what else is dropping on global? These 3 Easy A characters. That is another 90 stones, right? So while you're not going to have like a crazy amount of stones if you want to drop on this TEQ UI banner, which I think is going to be slightly changed on the global side of the game, I do think that not only is there probably going to be some sort of discount on this banner like most global banners do, but you're also going to have roughly around 150 stones in case you want to dump like 3 or so multis onto here. I think it's worth it. TEQ UI Goku is incredibly strong. Remember that for global players, this guy is not going to be returning on another banner until March, right? Sunday 2025 is when this guy's next banner is going to be, where he's going to be actually featured. Now, I don't know if you guys are going to be getting the Tanabata banner, which is specifically, let's see, it's like the one with Beast Gohan and stuff on it, right? I don't know if y'all are going to be getting this one, right? I highly doubt it, right? Usually this banner drops on Christmas time, but that's because the Tanabata LR drops in like late November anyway, right? So I highly doubt this banner is going to be coming to global this year, just because on global, these units are going to be returning much sooner than they would typically, right? Because usually you have to kind of wait until next July, right, to get the anniversary characters in terms of like Beast and Broly, or to Christmas. But now you're going to just have to wait until the end of February, or the end of January, right? So they're going to be coming back pretty soon, so don't worry about it too much. It's going to be roughly the same 6-month time span before these guys come back. But I just really don't think that this version of the banner is going to be coming back, nor do I think anyone would really want to summon on this banner anyway. It's mainly just here so you can coin Beast and Broly. So don't summon on that one, but if you're going to summon, right, I would recommend it. Do keep in mind, though, not only, I mean, some people, I know my boy Lampy, he's going to skip TEQ UI for Toppo, which is interesting, right? Toppo's probably dropping on the 12th, right? Which we kind of already know because he got leaked by Global on the App Store. It's like a confirmed thing, right? Toppo's coming on the 12th, and then you have potentially Jiren coming out at the end of the month. right before Worldwide. Now, I understand that some people are going to be like, wow, that's kind of like a lot, no? And I'm going to say, yes, it is. It's kind of a lot back to back. The global stone economy right now is pretty terrible. So if you're someone who just dumped everything to Beast Gohan just now, and now you kind of want to get TEQ because TEQ is really, really good, and he works really, really well on the superhero team, and he's amazing, blah, 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 you're going to be in a bit of trouble, right? Especially if you also wanted someone like Jiren and or Toppo, because they are really helpful for the Universe 11 mission. Now, I've gone on record saying that I think that Universe 11 mission is pretty much impossible without either Toppo or Jiren, which makes it kind of enticing to want to summon on one of those banners. But do keep in mind, though, that Toppo will return on Roshi's banner that should drop before the end of the year, so you can just wait, right? I know, obviously, everyone wants to get all their stones right away, but you can just wait, buy Toppo with red coins on the Roshi banner, and you'll be completely fine. So just keep that in mind, right? A lot of stones are going to be kind of weaved out of your account if you're a global player. You have a lot to think about. I believe someone mentioned it on Twitter, right? I think it's 10, right? 10 Dokkan Fest or Carnival LR characters on global within the span of 3 months is kind of insane, right? Because we just had Broly, Gogeta, Beast, Gammas into TEQ, potentially Jiren at the end of the month, and then into Worldwide. So it's going to be rough if you're a global player and you're free to play. It's going to be rough. But just keep in mind that this is the full celebration that's coming out with TEQ, right? So you are going to be able to get a decent amount of stones within that TEQ celebration. On JP, right? Me personally, I haven't spent a single dime on JP Dokkan all year, and I was able to not only get TEQ but also get HO Jiren, and still have 250 stones left over, right? Now, granted, I got them both in like 3 multis, right? So I got pretty lucky, but I had well over like 200 plus stones going into those banners, and I dumped stones into other random banners as well. So you're gonna get I personally got roughly 400 stones from the Tanabata celebration. So just expect somewhere in that ballpark. Plus the fact that you're also getting still anniversary content that's still left to come, right? So talking more about what this banner is probably gonna look like. Some people are thinking that this banner is going to get wildly changed. I don't think so. I think the only difference is going to be Frieza here is probably going to get replaced by Physical Goku Black, because that is the same release that happened on Global when we got Frieza, right? So I would see that being pretty much the only change. I do think it is going to be kind of weird that 4 of the featured characters on here are currently featured on the anniversary banners, right? That's going to be kind of awkward, but it is what it is. If they're going to be still there, then it happens, right? They're still really, really powerful, except for like Gohan and Goten. All 3 of these guys, of course, they easy during the 9th anniversary. If you don't have them, they're great pickups. Dispo's really powerful. TEQ is really good. You can still use Int Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I know people love hating on him, but he is still useful. Blue Kaioken, I've seen Wendy pop off with him on Twitter, right? Jiren sucks. Gohan and Goten are pretty much useless, right? This banner's good. It's worth summoning on it if you like the superhero team and if you like running the Realm of Gods superheroes, right? It's incredibly worth it, incredibly powerful. Now, for the rest of the stuff that's coming, of course, you have the new Heart events. You have all 3 EZAs, which already have confirmed to be coming, but a burst mode. We got the actual Dokkan event itself. The celebration is pretty damn packed. Like, I'm going to be real with you. It's kind of huge. Let's go ahead and take a look at it just so that we can see every other piece of information from that celebration. It should be this, right? Right, it's a big celebration. You're gonna have the Tanabata wish strips and the Tanabata tickets, right? Those should also be coming as well. Of course, Jiren, his double raids banner, I have no idea whether or not that's gonna be coming or not at the end of the month. Who knows? You got this banner that's gonna drop that has the EZA characters on it. It's pretty good. Some EX missions, some BGM missions. Right, you have a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. Oh, this should drop as well with it. The Universe 11 Dragon Ball History stage. Right, that should drop. Some Super Battle stages should drop as well. So you have, again, plenty of stonage. Please do not think that you're not going to be able to summon on him. You have 0 stones, blah, 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 blah. There is plenty of stuff coming within the celebration. They said that the celebration is happening in full, right? So just don't worry too much. It's just going to be a little rough. Now, you can also think about this in another way. The Toppo celebration, which we can probably find pretty easily. This is still Tanabata. Let's just move back in the year until we can get roughly around the Toppo stuff. Right? Now, Toppo, right, he had a pretty packed celebration as well. Granted, they did yoink a lot of the stuff from Toppo already. I believe the only thing that is missing from the Toppo celebration is this. This is the Toppo celebration? Yeah. Stuff that's missing from Toppo celebration, right? That isn't already there. Toppo himself, and then pretty much just the sub EZA characters are the pretty much only things left in Toppo's celebration, because they already did EZA, Go Tanks, and Super Saiyan 3. These guys are already on global, right? So you're not really able to do that. But there is like stuff like this. There's like new Frieza missions or whatever, right? So there is a couple things left from Toppo that you can grab, but I'm going to assume that the Toppo celebration is going to be pretty bare bones. You get a couple BGM missions, right? A couple just generic missions from other stuff. Not a whole lot, but it is a couple stones that you can grab from Toppo celebration, as well as potentially you guys getting caught up on the story event stages, which again, those are pretty decent amount of stones, and typically whenever we get story event stages, you also get a bunch of free Kais. So I don't expect a whole lot from that, but again, some stones is some stones. So you're going to have, presumably, if they give you everything that's available during Tanabata and the Toppo celebration that hasn't already come to global, you guys should get roughly around 450 to 500, 600 stones, right? It's a lot. It's a lot. If you log in every day, you do all the content, and you do all the missions, that's probably roughly around where you're going to be sitting at, because that's roughly how much I got. Now, I went into the celebration with like 100 stones, so maybe it's probably going to be like 400 stones total. But that's still a decent couple multis, and I do expect you guys to get some discounts, maybe even tickets on those banners. So just keep that in mind. Global players, I know that it's going to be kind of hard to not summon on TEQ, right? But just also remember, Worldwide is coming. Potentially Worldwide units are going to be better than the TEQ, who knows? So I would say keep your options open. If you like TEQ and you think he's really cool, right? I agree. He's fucking great. I absolutely love running him. I run him on every single goddamn team that I can right now. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. Global players, please let me know where your stones from these celebrations are going to be dropping. Are you dropping it on TEQ? Are you dropping it on Toppo? Are you dropping it on the potential Jiren banner that's coming out at the end of the month? Or are you going all in for Worldwide? Do let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.